I'm not sure about this place. It seems to be a madhouse. The doors are kept locked, for our safety, they say. It's brighter, more modern, more comfortable than the last place, but it's still a prison, populated by lost, mad souls. Mainly women, but there are a few men, unlike the other place. The chairs are covered in a kind of plastic, easily cleaned. The curtains are bright, covering windows that look down on the gardens. The windows can be opened part way, and there are no bars. I feel confused, at sea without an anchor, drifting through unknown waters. A priest tries to see me, but I get them to send him away. There have been too many priests in my life. A woman from social services keeps visiting, checking that I am settling all right and want for nothing. They all have so many questions. Is this for their benefit or mine? Of course, these are thoughts. I don't speak them out loud. They're asking for entrance into my world. I should charge an admission fee. Admission? Is that what they're after? Winkling out some dreadful crime that lurks in its lair, haunting me. Or like a predator, hunting me through the decades, tracking my steps and snapping at my heels. They'd think if they could set it free, my soul would take flight too, soaring and swooping with my newly feathered wings. What do you make of me? I will show you, not tell. You will have to do the work yourselves. Join the dots, solve the puzzle. There is a risk you may jump to the wrong conclusions. That won't make any difference to me. So let's test your powers of observation. Let's consider the evidence. You see the lines on my face? Caused by pain? The sun? Smoking? A hard life? And the liver-spotted hands? The knuckles stiff and misshapen? And what do you make of this? The clothes make an impression, but be careful. They only tell you about the person who chose them for me, or about the previous owners, now no longer needing them. They tell you nothing of me. What assumptions do you think they are making to embroider their files which bear my name? Their files, not mine. Mine are written in grey matter, not white paper. Their files are full of mistakes and assumptions made by others. But mine are distorted by memory, its protective shroud tightly binding my ghosts to encourage their silent rest. I sit in silence. That says so much more than I sit silently, as if silence is a warm, comforting bath or a cool, bubbling stream. My silence is very busy, filled with noises. I have no need of radios or TVs. I have my own private library. The television is on all the time here, so I escape into my own head. Now that has saved me over the years from the harshness and monotony of my life. The countries I imagine are stuck in a time warp of old adventure books written 100 years ago. I found them in our cobweb-bound attic where I used to hide from him. Do you think that my lack of sharing is fear or avoidance of pain? I have no need to share with any of them. This is the one choice I am able to make. Oh, they have so many interpretations to choose from, and all of them wrong. Should I tell you my story, or a version of it? Are you sure you want to hear this? Some of the poor creatures here are very confused, so muddled and drugged that they cannot even remember their names. I know my name, Dymphna, a suitable name. She's the patron saint of the insane, the mentally ill, victims of incest. A very suitable name. I'm not mentally ill, just institutionalised by my lifetime locked away. They think I couldn't survive the outside world, that I need the locked doors, and routines to protect me. They are apologetic, at a loss to know how to make amends. They know that I have done nothing wrong. They tell me that I am 73. Now that means she must be 58 now. She comes to me in my dreams. I hear her voice, but she has no face. Her voice is like the sea, rhythmic and restful. I used to try to put her out of my mind, but she's been faithful all these years, visiting me when my guard is down, retying the cord. I call her Perdita, the lost child, but she'll probably have a good Catholic saint's name. I hope she's still alive and that she's had a happy life. He could still be alive in his 90s, but I think he's probably dead from the drink. He was spared the shame. Blamed it on a young lad I barely knew from the next village. Mother knew, though. There are no more children after that. I still see her face, blotchy and bloated with tears, desperately trying to signal her apology to me as they take me away. Some time later the priest came to tell me that they'd found her hanging from a rafter in the barn. I was blamed for that too, the priest telling me that she'd be in hell for all eternity, and it is my fault, caused by my wickedness and lies. Poor Dymphna, a young princess in the 7th century Ireland, murdered by her mad father when she refused to marry him after the death of her mother. My mother hadn't died. My father wasn't mad with grief, just bad. Would it have been better if my father had murdered me? Possibly. I'd have been spared the terror of childbirth when I was just a child myself. My dread that it might be a monster. And then the agony of my perfect child being torn away from me and given to strangers. And the years of a different kind of labour in the wet, hellish laundry. The Magdalen laundry, or Magdalen Asylum, as it is sometimes called. Wrongly called. There is little asylum there. We washed away our sins day in and day out. The Magdalen laundry, and with no hope of forgiveness. Poor Mary Magdalene, depicted through the history as a prostitute, when she was probably a respectable widow of means who bankrolled Jesus and his friends. Her reputation still sullied in the name Magdalen Laundries. Homes for fallen women, unmarried mothers, or just unwanted lost souls who have done no harm. Despite the long, soul-destroying years in that place, I have kept my mind sharp. I can sniff out the truth under the layers of beeswax and incense. And in my imagination, I have lived a wonderful life. My spirit is unbroken, and I will have the last word. My story will be told, and I will not hide my face in shame. Remember Dymphna, Mary Magdalene, and the 30,000 girls in Ireland who were imprisoned, faultless, victims of religious hypocrisy and the times in which they lived. If there is a God, may she never forgive or forget those who inflicted such pain, robbing young girls of their lives. May she shake the earth in her anger at the thousands of young girls kidnapped, trafficked, enslaved. I watch in horror today as the hard-won rights of women are torn down, their worlds destroyed, imprisoned in unwanted marriages and motherhood. Now, you have heard me tell one story among many. What difference will it make? What are you going to do? Yes, but I am still Dymphna. I am survivor. Isn't that marvellous?